My name is Dad Sonko, and this is
We're in Dubai. Biwaya.
Mimi nilisema Mr. Bwire, nimengoja atasema Mrs. Dan Sonko. Anyway.
Originality, babe. Hiyo ni kwa yako.
So this is part 2 of, according to our notes, 5 things I wish I knew before chemo. Caregiver perspective. 5 things. By the way, I haven't written this thing down. She ambushed me.
I did ambush you. So this is me closing the note off, although I was open enough to say what it is.
Yeah. I wish I knew that this journey, you are alone.
Eh?
You are alone.
Wait, you the caregiver?
You the caregiver and the patient. Because caregiver and patient are one and the same, if you think about it. If you've dedicated your time to take care of this person, you're not bolting, you're not going anywhere. You are there for the long haul. But then, honestly, you are alone. Because things are thick and nobody wants problems. And this thing is a problem. And you can see that first it's a weight on you. And if you are seeking help, you can feel like you're putting your weight on someone else. And someone else does not want to carry that weight. I've learned and seen just how ignorant we all are, all of us, where this journey is concerned. You are alone in the sense, now everything goes dark because you had not prepared for it. You've heard about it every other sphere. In fact, maybe you've had people in your circles, you've felt some type of way, but when it hits home, you are literally alone. But then, if you open your eyes properly, now this is the twist of the story, there are people out there. Those who you thought are there will not be there. And those who you did not think are there, show up. So it's like, you get it? Yeah. So it's like your world shifts.
We didn't really expect to show up for us, showed up big time.
Big time. Some that we even term as divine helpers, for example. People you did not even think. That's what I mean by you are alone. Unaweza kuwa deep. So that's number 1. Number 2. What was the question? 5 things I wish I knew.
Before we
got into this. I wish I knew that, honestly, no one has knowledge of this thing. No, I know my wishes are cryptic and I'm explaining them. No one has knowledge of this thing in the sense, you go in, you've been declared that you have cancer. Now I'm speaking from a caregiver's perspective, okay?
Yeah.
So as a caregiver, the first thing you do, you go and try and research, okay, so what do we do? Where do we go? Everyone is speaking from a knowledge perspective, but then that knowledge is specific. One thing I've learned from this journey is I cannot compare what she is going through with what someone else who's having breast cancer is going through.
Yeah.
Because I've come to learn and appreciate that thing where in the Bible that we are told we are unique, you wonderfully and fearfully made.
Yeah.
We are unique individuals. We have very unique fingerprints. Even your journey to recovery is not textbook.
No.
There's a guideline.
Yeah.
But it sends you to discover yourself, to discover your body, to discover what works for you and what doesn't. I discovered that yes, we don't know because we have been in loggerheads with the medical fraternity, for example. We've been fortunate enough to have doctors who are not rigid, but we also have people in the profession who are rigid, who tell you this is the way that it's supposed to be. This is how we've studied it. But then you go back and ask that person, precisely.
Function, yeah.
You go back and ask that person, look, yes, I respect that you've studied, but this person is living it. There's a very big difference. There's a person with lived experience, there's theory and there's practical. And in every practical, it's unique. Have we taken time to understand the journey that a person is on? Because You can give that person something thinking you're helping them,
Yeah.
but you're actually making the situation worse.
Yeah.
So one thing I learned is, by the way, we don't know, it takes us back to basics, back to ground zero. Who am I? If I eat this, what does it do? If I eat that, what does it
And
do?
you have to try.
Yes.
Like, I've been on so many diets.
True.
There's been so many what I can and cannot eat, and we had to just find out what works for me and what doesn't.
And as you discover what works for you, let it be known, because it is you, it is your identity. So once you've discovered what works for you and you find yourself in opposition with the advice you are getting, there's this thing whereby there's no patient-doctor collaboration. Because one thing I've always been saying is, there's the patient, there's the doctor, then there's the disease. The problem here is the disease.
Yeah.
So you two should team up to fight this disease.
Yeah.
If the patient has discovered something that works for them, the doctor should be supporting that and trying to find out, okay, how else can I empower and move this person further away from the disease?
Yeah.
But we find ourselves in situations whereby the patient can see, and especially the enlightened patients, but when they go to the doctor, when they go to the doctor is like, no. If you are gullible, if you are not in tune with yourself, you can be misled.
Yeah.
So that's a second thing I learned. We really don't know this thing. It's continuous discovery. Another thing I wish I knew. Food is medicine and medicine is food. Diet. What you take in has a very big impact on you as a person. Whether it is the food that you eat, whether it is the stuff that you watch and take in, whether it is the stories you hear, whatever you are taking in is going to affect you.
Yeah.
One way or another.
100%.
Too much stress, you'll find yourself there. Processed foods that you don't know the source, foods that have an unlimited shelf life. Please.
I don't know why I've never questioned that before. Like, we never sit down and think about these things.
We don't. But I wish I knew it earlier. But then, there's always time for everything.
Yeah.
Now that I have known, trust me, I am not passing the ignorance that I had on to our children. Wherever we are right now, since we have life here, we have life now,
Yeah.
we are deliberate in changing things that we've been doing wrong, and that is the unlearning process. The biggest people that we should be looking up to, and this is not to disregard the doctors, but we need to put more emphasis on the nutritionists.
Yes.
People, even you yourself, try and study foods. Understand what it is that you're taking in and what it does to your body. Because at the end of the day, the body is yours. So what you eat is very important. Food is medicine. Because even some of these drugs that we take, where do they come from?
Plants.
It's the same plants that are crushed, dried, gone through processes, then with cells under a microscope to see what it is doing to the virus. Whatever it is that they are doing,
Yeah.
I'll give you a good example. When she had low blood, her RGB, her red blood cells count were low. To boost it up, we would go for blood boosters. Those things cost 7,500 shillings a pop for 3 injections. It's not cheap.
No.
But beans and avocado,
Yeah.
maharagwe na makodofia, those things boosted her blood. Had we not tried, we would not have known.
I ate for like
3 days.
for 3 days.
3 servings of beans and avocado.
An avocado.
Her blood was even better than mine, as in, because we would go for the blood tests, the HGB tests.
Full hemogram.
Full hemogram, that one. You see, we'd go for full hemograms. You look at the blood count after taking the beans and avocado, and that is just one hack.
Yeah.
There are so many hacks.
So many hacks. you need to just try and find out what works for you. My blood levels went up from 8, I remember it was 8.3.
Yeah.
And we almost missed chemo. The first time I got a transfusion. The second time I missed chemo by a whisker. In fact, I was below the threshold.
Yeah.
Daktari said, I'll give you dawa, but you have to go work on your blood. Because automatically dawa will make your blood levels go down.
True.
And they sent me to go get the booster, and it was, man, that thing is shrewd. And I didn't even tell them that I wasn't going to get it.
Yeah.
I said, let me find what they make these boosters from so I can just eat. I eat like a mad person, and I only ate for 3 days.
3 servings, and that was enough.
And that was it. Within 5 days, it shot up to 12.7 from 8.3. That's crazy, man.
So that's my point number 3. Food is medicine, and medicine is food. I wish I knew this.
I agree.
Number 4, mind your mind. Sijui hizi vitu zinatoka wapi, lakini zinakaa. Mind your mind. Mindset is everything. Whether it is in the journey into the problems that you found yourself in, or the journey out of those problems, your mindset is everything. Mute the noise. Starve your distractions, feed your
focus, baby.
You focus on healing. You focus on growth. You focus on positivity. It's like feeding. Where you put your focus in, that word that people use, manifests. Yeah. It does manifest.
Sure.
Because if you are able to work your mind, include your heart, but work your mind, because your mind will present, it is a defense mechanism. It works to protect you. So it will present your fears to you. If you choose to face those fears positively and listen to yourself, there's a way that it opens up. If I was to talk about this, I would take like an hour plus. But I would say, mind your mind. I learned this when we are already in the deep end. I'm glad we are swimming out. I'm not saying we are out completely, but we can touch the ground. As in, we don't need to waddle. We are stepping on the ground. So, but we are still in the water. But mind your mind. How many are those?
In the water.
Wade in the water, children.
Wade in the water. God said he's gonna trouble the water.
You see how interesting my episode is now. So how many are those? 4?
Yes.
I started with
yes, there were 4. What you just
mind your mind was 4.
Yes.
So number 5.
Yes.
Something I wish I knew. Hey. What else? Yes.
Amanda.
But I will just say, focus on the 4 that I have shared for now, because there's this
for them the one.
Yes, that one. Save best for last. We are saving best for last, but mind your mind. Very important. Food is medicine, and medicine is food. Very important. We know nothing. By the way, when you go with a totally empty, ignorant mindset and a yearning to learn, things open up.
True.
We know absolutely nothing. And importantly, you are alone with your God. I'm not going to bring in any factors of religion or what. No. Your God, what you believe in.
It's the belief system.
That belief system.
Wherever it gets us. It's not even religion.
It's not religion. It's your belief.
Spirituality.
And it is individual. And that's another topic that we will have later. So I think those are my 4, with a 1 to come later.
Well, thank you so much for watching. Hey, you've tried to keep it short. That's a miracle. This one can yap as well.
As well.
Yeah, because I started out by saying we're both yappers.
I know your come say
hi. There are...
you guys have just come from playing. Okay, go.
The whiffing.
They're whiffing. They need to go and shower. Are you guys going back outside?
Yeah.
Okay, then don't shower. But you can close the windows. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Until next time, where we shall be sharing and learning from you and using this platform as a voice for those walking the same path. Stay safe. Au revoir.